Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another film review. Tonight we're looking at sort of like an extreme Italian cinema film. This is from the 1970s and the film we're looking at is called Savage 3. Now this film is released by Arrow Film and is a part of this box set called Years of Lead. Classic Italian crime thrillers of the 70s. Now, these films in the 1960s and 70s, Italy was renowned for a lot of sort of violent crimes in the actual, in real life in the country, and there was a lot of sort of violence around the country, and there's a lot of disarray with the government, and obviously you had gangster sort of things going on and sort of like all these sort of crimes happening. And these sort of films in this set sort of portray what Italy was like at that time. It was quite a violent place to live, and that's why I think you get quite a few very extreme films from Italy at that time. It all represents what Italy was like, even from stuff like Cannibal Holocaust through to some of the extreme sort of horror films. It was all sort of that time in Italy when violence was prevalent. I believe it's not like it anymore, but back then it was. It was just the whole sort of country was in disarray, and this sort of film represents it because we sort of see three young men that work at this sort of this sort of company that do all this sort of investigation and experimental sort of things in computers and animals and stuff like that. Like the beginning of the film, it's got one of the guys is in the laboratory with all these different mice, and he opens the cage doors to let all the mice together, and they start fighting and killing each other. Now, that part of the film has been cut out of this edition because following the BFC's stance on animal cruelty, it's all cut out. So when he's watching it sort of goes to a black screen when it comes to him, sort of thing. And he's sort of now watching, like, amused and sort of enjoying it, getting these sort of seeing these sort of rats killing each other. And he's talking to one of the men in the laboratories, and he said, I wonder if humans can behave like this. And him and his two colleagues go to this Italian football match where it's really, really busy. And they start trouble off there. They start a fight, and which kicks off to, like, the whole stand starts to into this major fight, and loads of people get injured. In fact, there's one person gets killed there, and they've started it. And then they sort of go away from the football match, sort of like pleased with their conquest. And they go to, they say their car's missing, so they steal another car, a Ferrari. And then they just go berserk driving it through the town until they get sort of stuck in the traffic with all the people coming out of the football match. So then they sort of pick on these two young girls that are on the motorbike. As they're driving past the motorbike, they get one of them to open the door, so they crash into it. So they come off their motorbike, and the three lads then steal the motorbike and take off with the bike, and laughing and joking about it. And this is how the sort of film sort of progresses. It's about these three guys and their lack of humanity, if you like. They're just sort of really sort of don't care about anything or anyone. And when they're back at work, we see that they're joined by other people from different professions at their place of work, and there's a police officer there, a detective, and that, and he's now been put on to the case of this football ground thing. There's been evidence of three young guys that have caused the trouble, and I think he straight away is clicking on that these are the three guys that are starting the trouble, just by their actions and the way they are. They're sort of callous and don't care sort of attitude. And he starts talking to the police sort of chief at the station, and he doesn't really want to take any more sort of cases. I think he's getting near his retirement and or this sort of thing, and he's asking, why did you leave the flying squad? I think something's happened in his past, that he's left the flying squad and now at their sort of department. And he goes to visit the football ground where it all happened, and he starts having little flashbacks, and he's sort of like looking around at all for evidence to see what could have started this sort of this horrible event that's led to someone being killed and all these other people being injured. Now, our three other main characters of the film, they've now he's now got a different car, which is obviously again probably been stolen, and they're driving through miraculously through the town, laughing and giggling, thinking what they're going to do next, and they nearly crash into a sort of dumpster truck, and they just managed to brake in time, but the main sort of guy of this jumps out of the car and starts then attacking the driver of the truck. And it's all sort of filmed in slow motion, this fight sequence. And the truck driver seems to be getting the better of them. He's got this huge sort of metal silver spanner, and he's starting getting the better of them so they don't get anywhere near him. But while the two of them are distracting this driver, the main sort of one grabs like this screwdriver, and then he stabs him with him straight through the sort of torso area, and he sort of collapses on the floor, this driver, and you see sort of blood and stuff all over the place, and they stand there looking at it thinking, wow, this is sort of great. They're sort of getting real kicks out of these sort of violent acts, and the film sort of progresses down this sort of way, and they get more and more extreme with their violence, and they start killing people, men and women, and it gets quite gory and quite bloody and quite horrible kills throughout the film. It's not the best and nicest of watch. And while this is going on, we've got our police detective trying to sort of catch up with these three and sort of find out what all's going on. So whatever's going on, you need to watch it and find out. What do I think of Savage 3? It's a great film. It's a really high octane sort of film. There's a lot of sort of going on. There's a lot of action. There's car chases. There's murders. There's all sorts of things going on in the film. And underneath there's a police investigation, investigating these crimes that are happening. And like I said, and it's not a true story, but this is what I believe Italy was sort of like at this time. It was like I said, it was off the radar with sort of like these sort of crimes of violence and all this going on. And these films sort of represent how Italy was. And like I said, it's very, very violent, and it is of its time. The pluses of this edition, it looks absolutely amazing. It's really, really cool. A great transfer. It's got a real arty feel to the film and still looks really fantastic. And I love the characters are portrayed really, really well and well acted. I'm sure the main character, I don't know if it is him, but he really reminds me of the guy from Flesh for Frankenstein. It may well be the same guy, but he's very, very similar. And they are absolutely depraved and disgusting in their behaviour. They kill people in sort of like torturous ways, and it's very unpleasant to see. It's a little bit like Last House on the Left in a way, where you got Krug and his gang that are just tormenting these girls. These are pretty much the same, but they're doing it across the city. And they're just doing random acts of violence, and the police are doing their best to catch up with it. So I'm going to score The Savage 3 an amazing watch and give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really, really cool film. It is quite extreme film. It is an extreme sort of Italian sort of crime thriller. It is an 18. It is gory. It does have scenes of violence and blood and not very nice sort of torture sort of killing, so it might not be for everyone, but I absolutely really enjoyed it because I love these sort of films. I love Italian cinema. It's I love their horror films. I love their exploitation films. I love their crime thrillers. I love their giallo films, and I love their spaghetti westerns. I just love Italian cinema, and this is fantastic. Really love it. Really, really cool film. Savage 3, 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. If you have, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's quite a obscure sort of film. All the films in this box set are quite obscure. This is a cool box set. It comes with 5 movies. It comes with obviously Savage 3, and it's got 2 films on this disc. It's also got another film called Like Rabid Dogs. This one has got Colt 38 and Highway Racer. And this one has got No, The Case for Happily Resolved. So it's got 5 sort of like extreme crime thrillers. It comes with a wonderful, wonderful booklet talking you all about the different films and car chases and the crimes that took place, and sort of explains how how Italy was at this moment influenced these sort of type of films, and also influenced sort of like the horror films and probably spaghetti westerns. You know, how they were kind of it was that sort of era. Anyway, so this is the first sort of film out of this box set. I will review a couple more down the line from this box set, and this is called Years of Lead, if you're interested in looking into it. I'm not sure if it's still in print. I've picked this up quite a while ago, really got around to watching it, but I believe you can pick this up quite cheap at CEX, so it might be worth having a look at it if you're interested in that. Until next time, look out some horror channels for me. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man Refilm, RS Design, Pizzawell, I'm the Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House, and a massive shout out to my movie loving lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.